It's Veronica here, and woo, we have a lot of awesome jewelry, and I also wanted to welcome all of you. It is Jewelry Party Wednesday here on Jewelry Party Thursday, but the reason why we postponed it was because everything at Vintage Meet Modern right now is 25% off, and no code is needed. We only do the sale 3 times a year, twice a year as part of the Afterpay promotion. I want to thank you in advance because sales have just been absolutely rocking and rolling today. So I'm glad so many of you are taking advantage of it. But I'm going to talk a little bit about our latest collection because I'm just letting you know that our sale is today and tomorrow. And I see Michelle Martin's here. We've got Jen here. So thank you all for joining us. I know we've got a couple other people coming along. And also, I will do the drawing for our $25 gift card later, which so many of you participated in last week. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to adjust myself just slightly here, just a little tiny bit, so that you can actually see the jewelry that I have on. So hard when you've got like 2 things going on at the same time, but there we go. So thanks, everybody. Now I feel like we're really adjusted. So thanks, Elaine, for joining us. Thank you so much for Vintage Fusion. Thanks, Magnolia Glitter, everybody for joining us. And just to let you know, everything at Vintage Meet Modern is 25% off, and there's no code needed, and it is site-wide. So if you had your eye on something at VMM, now is the time to treat yourself. Also, we rarely ever discount above 15%. So 25% is a lot of bang for your buck. So this evening is all about making your vintage jewelry modern. I hope that you can sit back and relax and maybe learn a little something. I hope you can find a few pieces that you'd love to add to your collection. And if I could ask you to do one tiny little favor for me, as you know, small businesses, we work really, really hard, and your support means more than you know. So if you could just share this video with other people, that would be incredible. If you could either share it with someone or tag it with someone. I know that I'm asking a lot, but I would really appreciate it. So here's what we have going on tonight. I'm starting off the evening like I always do with a few of my personal favorites and telling you why I love them. And hopefully as we get to know some of the other pieces tonight, you will enjoy them. Jen says, I had so much fun shopping this sale. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I am awesome. I am so glad for that. So this piece is one of my favorites. This is the vintage Juliana brooch from the 1950s. Now, as you can see, what I love about it, I have it paired with a blouse from Anthropologie, which I actually picked up during like their recent sale. So it's kind of a sort of muted kind of turquoise color. It's one of these ones that you can either dress up more in the winter, maybe by putting it with grays and kind of graphite colors. You could wear it with a pair of winter white pants. And what you're really going to do is really pull the whole look together by putting different kinds of jewelry with it. But it's also another one that's really easy to wear in summer. You can wear it with a pair of denim. You could wear it with a pair of high-waisted culottes. You could wear it with some linen pants. It's a color that really is flattering, and it goes really beautiful with a lot of the jewelry that we have on. So I'm starting off the evening with this awesome Juliana brooch. As you can see, I pinned it right to the center of my blouse, which is another way that I really love being able to wear these pieces. It's very easy to be able to wear something kind of medallion style. I love this one because if you look closely, if you really do see, these are gold rhinestones. So these are pear-shaped gold rhinestones kind of intermixed with some Aurora Borealis. And one of the things that really makes it special is that the rhinestones are gold. They are actually with the coating. So often we see the coating behind the stones or the foil work. This actually has the foil work going on top of it. It's very meticulously set. It's a little bit of a domed style to it. And it also is got some open back stones, but it has the closed back going along it too. And it also has got the signature little puddling right there. So this one is a really cool, really unique piece. Very, very lovely colors. The gold makes it really, really outstanding and unusual. And it's one of those fun pieces that if you like all the traditional rhinestone pieces, like, for example, do I have a traditional rhinestone piece? You know, you're so used to seeing things that are set without the foil on them, with the foil reverse, that it's really cool to have something that is very unique and different. So this is one of my all-time favorites. This one is a super cool piece, and I'm sure it's going to go off to a fabulous new home. Now, up next, I'm going to talk about another one of my favorite pieces. We have this amazing, huge, this is actually a brooch. This one is a 1960s piece from Richelieu. And, you know, Richelieu was really known for their pearls. And if you ever Google or you ever look up on Pinterest vintage jewelry ads, you'll see they had these very luxurious pearl advertisements in the 50s and the 60s. And then, like so many other designers, they kind of caught on to sort of different movements that different designers also were doing. So they kind of moved into this like Etruscan style, a little bit more exotic, a little more mod, heavier gold work than the traditional pearls. This one can be worn as a brooch, but what I really love about it is that it's so big that, and I saw quite a few people were adding brooch converters to their orders today. This is the little brooch converter. This is a flat link chain. And, you know, every now and then, in addition to some of the little surprises that I like to do, so this is the brooch converter. You just slip it through the pin. If you want it, if you don't want it to move back and forth, the trick is to use the little French, like little plastic rubber grippers on the side of it, and then that'll keep it from moving. This is a really unusual time because I don't usually do this. I usually have people purchase pieces separately, but if you purchase this piece, you will get the Omega chain and the brooch converter that goes with it, because this piece makes such an awesome statement necklace. Isn't this cool? So this is really like nothing that, you know, you so commonly see. And when I tell you that this bad boy weighs a significant amount, it really does. This is what makes those vintage pieces so outstanding and so unique compared to the pieces that we buy today. This one is very heavy, very, you know, 18 karat gold plated. It has a faux jade speckled glass stone and art glass stone that's in the center. It looks really pretty against the skin, but this one is an awesome one because you can either wear it as a brooch, and I loved it so much as a pendant that, like I said, this is kind of our get a gift with purchase piece this week, because if you purchase this one, you're going to get the Omega chain and you're going to get the brooch converter so that you can wear it as a pendant too, which is super fun and super cool, isn't it? And it's also nice because it is a, yeah, it is definitely a wow piece. And like I said, the quality is just so fantastic. I'm going to take it off and I'm going to show you too. So like I said, on the back here, this even has like all this textured design that's on the inside from the casting too. So definitely a higher end, you know, high end designer style piece that is from that 1960s era. Now let's talk about some of my other favorites that we have this week. So Margaret Rollo, who is in our private Facebook group and also I believe might actually be on here, she posted a photo the other day of sweater guards. And while sweater guards typically have a alligator closure, we also can do the same thing with these chatelaine style brooches. So this one I have, this is a vintage Vandal from the 1940s era. And what I love about this one is this has got a rose gold with a petite sapphire color, and then it has this very lovely floral design. Now, let me tell you something. This one is also 100% gold filled. And just recently, I was even speaking to a few other people, including some jewelry, I guess you could say fine jewelers, and the cost of even having rose gold or gold filled jewelry scrapped is still of a very high value. So if you're looking to invest in higher quality pieces right now, I'm not suggesting that you scrap this, but I'm just telling you that these pieces really do hold their value. So you can always feel really good about investing in the gold filled ones. This one can definitely be able to wear as a sweater guard. So if you have a sweater or a cardigan that's going across, this has two little pins that are on the back of it. And it also has got some little tiny hooks on the back of it as well. So if you want to take this off and wear these as a pendant, you can also do that too. So it's kind of like getting three pieces in one, because the larger piece can be taken off they just have these simple little chains that connect them. So the larger piece can be taken off and worn as a brooch. It has a hook on the back, so it can also be worn as a pendant. And the same thing here. This one also has a hook to hold the chain in place, but you can also wear it as a pendant. And then you can also take it off and you can wear it as a as part of the chain or out it as a special brooch too. You can wear the chains across, or you can even put the two of them together sweater card style. Or scatter pin style. So these are both really nice pieces. I know that Leanne is on here and she's given out links, and she'll tell you that rose gold is her favorite color and that it's just another really awesome piece. And again, very, very high quality. Like I said, even the local jeweler who's by me was telling me that she's even scrapping rose gold for a very high quality. Now I was saying, like, I could never do that. I love the pieces too much in order to be able to do that. So up next, we have this awesome mid-century modern piece. Again, another one of my favorites. This one is also definitely a designer piece. And the way that I can tell you that is if you turn it over on the other side and you take a closer look at it on the Vintage Meet Modern website, you can see that all of the little articulated links also have an actual number that corresponds them. So that would have meant that whoever was putting this piece together by hand after the castings were coming out, they were able to connect them all together. So really, really important piece, really, really nice, great mid-century modern design. Also kind of reminds me of some of the bamboo style jewelry. So this one is also another really fun one. This one looks really elegant also against so many different colors and so many different styles. So if you like wearing a lot of solid colors, this one is very elegant. It also has that brushed gold tone, goes very nicely with other brushed gold tone jewelry. These are not part of this week's collection, but they're kind of like a classic, like everyone needs to have it. These little tiny dangling brushed gold balls. I'm sure that Leanne's going right now, why are you talking about things that are from a different collection? You didn't tell me you were going to talk about them. But this is a perfect example of how you need to head on over to the website, since everything is 25% off, and treat yourself to something. So if you like these little simple earrings, they go very lovely with the mid-century modern brooch. And like I said, this is just a little bit of an articulated dangle, and it's very easy to wear. As you can see, I have it just on, and this is a nice, again, kind of a thicker fabric, and it's got some texture to it, so it certainly holds brooches really well. And it's also a perfect example of how easy it is to even wear brooches year-round. Some of us kind of shy away from them when we're wearing thinner fabrics in the summer, but you don't need to do that. So we've got this awesome piece. This one is another one of my favorites this week. Like I said, this one has got the swag style. It's a nice textured mid-century modern design. I'm going to keep going as long as I have the little dangling earrings on and show you some of the other pieces that I love. And you know what? Things are really flying out of here. So if something sold a little earlier or something is selling now when we're online, like I said, we're having our big 25% off sale. And this is a sale that we only do 3 times a year. Like I said, it's more than we normally ever discount. The most we ever usually discount is 15%. And we only do site-wide sales 3 times a year. So you can feel really good about making some investments either in some pieces that you're seeing tonight, or you can feel really good about maybe picking up some pieces that you've had your eye on. So this is the vintage Nolan Miller brooch. This one features a coral enamel with these little pave set stems, and then it's got this very beautiful gold stem. Jewelry that moves is so romantic. Yes, I don't disagree. I think that with the quality of the design, anytime you have a little bit of an articulation, remember, many of the very well-known designers often said that the reason why they actually made pieces with the articulation and the movement was because they considered the way that a woman would move. It was supposed to move fluidly and effortlessly with them. So that's why I always like to point out when the pieces have articulation, because it meant that it was supposed to be easy to be able to wear and wouldn't constrain you at all. So this one is the little Nolan Miller piece. I love this one again because this is coral. And remember, coral is really pretty, but turquoise turquoise, but like I said, I have this dusty sort of colored turquoise that's from Anthropologie on Today. And this is a perfect example of how easy it is to wear the coral color with even your more muted tones too. So I know some of us love putting the coral with classic bright white or classic turquoise colors, but this one is a lovely one that also has got a deep, sort of more vibrant coral to it. So you could even put this up with some sort of rust tones and red tones as well too. Now, awesome. It also has got the little pave detail with it. This goes so nice with so many of the other little Swarovski pieces that we have. I know we had a pair of Swarovski earrings that sold earlier today, so those are off and away, but there are lots of other pretty rhinestone pieces that you would be able to put with that. So speaking of rhinestone pieces, you can either wear it with a little classic gold earring that I have on. We also have these, look at that bling. We also have these little, I guess they are, a hexagon, a little hexagon shaped. I had to count, like, I felt like Mr. Michael there for a minute, like doing my shapes. I was like, is it a pentagon or a hexagon? But in any case, these are a really beautiful high-end piece from Swarovski from the Savvy collection from the 1980s. They were set in a very heavy 18-karat gold, and these are the hand-cut crystals that are set like little hexagons in these little gold frames. Now, they also look like little kind of like little hives, like the little beehives with the little shapes together with them. But as you can see, they have so much sparkle. Another thing that's really awesome about all of these is that these also are a post. So for those of you who love the vintage earrings, but you would really love to be able to have a pierced pair, this is a fabulous pair for you to add to your collection because they are pierced and they're also kind of a nice size. They're not too big and they're not too small. So these are also 25% off. They're a really great deal. They are signed on the back of them. So this is another really lovely pair that we have as well. Super, super fun. Now up next, I have that one. I have this brooch on. This is a great one. Let's see what some of other pieces that we can have that mix well with this. Again, we're seeing trending right now actually in the jewelry world and coming out for fall 2020, a lot of layering style pieces. So we have got this multi-strand chained bracelet. This one is another favorite one, and I do feel like people are treating themselves to a lot more basics because it's really easy to be able to wear even if you're staying home. So I love that about so many of these different pieces. I do love anything that has a multi-strand on it that you don't have to mess with the multi-strand. So this is the multi-strand Monet. It is a mid-century modern piece, and it features some flat links with also some classic links that are mixed in. This one's another great one to wear with your classic gold jewelry. And something that I love about this, and I'm going to show you, because this is a 14-karat gold necklace from my own personal collection. It's a vintage Me and Row. You can see how easy it is to mix your fine jewelry with the designer jewelry from the 50s and the 60s, because it's not like a one-time coat that they did. These were all heavily dipped. So you can see how easy it is. Like I said, this is a 1990s pendant, and it's a solid gold. And this one is also one of the gold-plated bracelets that we have from the 50s and the 60s era. And I just love the way that it lays. It also lays super nice on the wrist. So this one will definitely be another jewelry box essential. Yes, Elaine said mix and match. And that's all about it. It's like, you know, if you've ever seen both Iris Apfel, she said before, you know, I like it high, I like it low, I like everything mixed together. And, you know, Coco Chanel always said, you know, they'll never know the difference between what's your real and your faux, and just love putting it all together and everything. And that's really a great way to just sort of be an appreciator of jewelry and also love all these treasures. Because that's why we do that. That's why we collect such a diverse collection over and over again for all of you, because everything is completely wearable with what you actually have hanging in your closet. And also, you don't need a special day or a special event in order to be able to enjoy and wear these finds. So as long as I'm on another mid-century modern kick, this is another one of my favorite pieces. This is the vintage mid-century modern faux pearl and wire brooch. This one is just on that cusp of when things became very streamlined and more modern, including if you remember when the wired artwork was so popular in the late 60s. So this one is nice because though it has a little bit of a movement style design with the crest over it. Another thing that I love, exactly, again, you can very easily wear it with other classic gold jewelry, but of course it goes really nicely with any of your classic pearls as well too. So you can definitely be able to mix this with your classic pearl studs, or if you have a classic little like a 5 or a 6 millimeter necklace that is the same sort of size as the beads, it's really easy to be able to mix and match this one. And now obviously I have this one on against a color tonight, but this looks very, very elegant with classic black. So recently I did a podcast interview and I was chatting with the host about ways to be able to really up level your look and really what a secret of a stylist is. And it's always at a brooch. And always also when people always ask me, what should I start with a vintage jewelry collection? Or if I wanted to gift someone a piece, I always say a brooch, because they're not easy to find. They're a very high quality. They are the one size fits all of jewelry. You don't need to know a ring size. You don't rather need to know whether someone like long or short earrings. You don't really need to know even a person's neck length. So the brooch really does double duty. And remember, there are so many ways to be able to wear them too. You can wear them on your blouses and your jackets. You can wear them to close your pashminas. You can tuck them into your hair in an updo. There's just tons and tons of ways. I can think of at least 10 ways. And we're going to have a video coming out on that soon, different ways to wear brooches and different things to be able to put with them. So this is a super fun one. And also keep in mind, it can be worn in a lot of different ways. You can wear it with the pearls down. You can wear it with the pearls up. Like I said, I kind of had this one angled off to the side, like it was kind of framing the neck. But it does have lots of beautiful qualities to it. And it's another great piece. And speaking of loop-de-loop pieces, remember everything is on sale right now at Vintage Meet Modern. Everything is 25% off and there's no code needed. And it even includes our designer finds. So this beautiful piece that I am holding up with it is a vintage Christian Dior. So this is a signed vintage Christian Dior from the 1980s. You'll have to take a look at it online on VMM and add it to your cart. The signature is right there. This is a classic double looped brooch. And again, for somebody who was asking me, what would you start with or what would you add? Especially if you're not a big rhinestone girl, I would say start with the classic gold pieces again, because as you can see, they're very heavily plated and they go very well with fine jewelry, and you can really wear them a lot of different ways. So here I have it on as if it's like a pendant or like framing the neck, sort of like a necklace style. But keep in mind, this is a very elegant piece to put with your classic black coat, to wear on a black dress, to wear on a navy blazer. I mean, and that's so simple. That's something that you can really up level your look, even if you're just going to the grocery store. White shirt, collar popped up, scoop neck white tee, navy blazer, jeans, cute flats. Really, really easy to wear. Thank you, John. My shop is from Anthropologie. So I get a lot of my colored clothes from Anthropologie. I like the designs, I like the fabrics, and they go so well with vintage jewelry. They've always kind of had that play on working with sort of vintage aesthetics. So it's always fun to be able to pick something up there. And then like I said, like this is a great one again, because it can pick up the muted tones or you could make it brighter, all dependent on what you put with it. So this beautiful piece is a vintage Christian Dior. You can score this one for 25% off right now. You can see it also goes awesome with those little gold bead earrings that I have on. It's a nice size. It's a nice scale. It's easy to be able to wear with all kinds of different pieces. Like I said, if I hold up my own little, my 14 karat gold necklace, you can see how nice it goes with other classic gold jewelry. And it's just kind of one of those jewelry box essentials again. So ones that you can feel really, really good about being able to wear right now. Now, speaking of also Christian Dior, this one is also signed Grossi. Germany, and they were the people that made all the jewelry for Christian Dior in the 1950s. So this is essentially also a Christian Dior brooch. This is like a sort of ribbon style. It has some texturing to it with some linear style lines. It is a little bit of a domed style to it, but again, it's one of those very iconic 50s, 60s designs and another sort of jewelry box kind of staple again. So this one has a nice texture to it. It depends on the direction that you look with it. It has more of an organic free form sort of styling, but at the same time, if you look at it other ways, you know, I have something on with a pattern, but if you were wearing this against classic black, it would look a little more structured. So this one is another really great piece. It's a very nice investment style piece. It will go with your other pieces of Christian Dior. You can kind of see the way that the different sort of designs mimicked each other. And this one is, again, another collector's piece. So you can also pick this one up for 25% off and feel really good about it because, again, it's a very high-end treasure. All right, moving right along here, we've got some amazing bracelets. And we'll talk about an older piece since we've been talking about brooches. This is a vintage signed Czechoslovakia bar pin, and this features a very cool sugar loaf stone. So they refer to this stone that is kind of a pyramid shape with sort of a soft curved edge as a sugar loaf. And then this one is also accented with a little cat's eye glass and then two little citrine rhinestones on it. It has just a teeny little bit of filigree in the middle of it. It's an older piece. It is actually set with a C clasp the same way that it has like a little safety pin type clasp. It clips right into it. And this one is also just a very dainty piece. So for those of you who definitely like the more romantic style pieces, this is the piece that you are going to love. So this one also, that cat's eye sort of moon glow piece, this is another one that's really easy to be able to wear right across the top. So you can see it, and it's a nice smaller size. This one is also a really great piece to wear on a lapel, and also a really fabulous piece to be able to wear on like a jacket collar as well too. If you wear it on a jacket collar, you could kind of angle it down and it would be very pretty like that too. So this one just has the most romantic style colors to it. Definitely has that Downton Abbey feel for those of you who like things because of the antique style of things. And it has very tiny little beautiful details too. It also has this very sweet little enamel that has been tucked into it as well. So we've got that fabulous piece. Let's see. We have got some awesome bracelets this week. So this is this huge vintage Kenneth J. Lane cuff. You know, I am such a huge fan of Kenneth J. Lane. He is actually the designer that I love. That sugar loaf would, it would make a very cute barrette. It would also look really cute across like a kiss clasp for a vintage style handbag. It would be really fun with that one also. So for those of you who don't know, when I first started in this industry and I worked more closely with my consignment clients, I worked with this very wonderful over-the-top woman that was a jewelry lover and an accessories lover in Chicago when I was still doing consignment. And she was downsizing and she was moving across the country to California, and she didn't want to take all of her jewelry with her. And when we were setting up the consignment agreement, she had all this other fabulous jewelry, and she was like, I want a premium though for my Kenny Lane pieces. And I really was only familiar with Kenneth J. Lane from my selling days at Neiman Marcus. So she gave me the book, Faking It, and I instantly fell in love with his story, his designs, the fact that he had given pieces and had pieces that were for so many American presidents' wives, no matter what political party. Everybody from Jacqueline Kennedy to Barbara Bush wore him. And his pieces, even though they can have a very classic style to them, they also have got a very eccentric and over-the-top feeling too. So I love gigantic cuff bracelets. I love them year round. I love them even with like sleeves turned up in the fall and in the winter. This one is certainly an awesome one. This one is, so for those of you who have put on the Corona 15 or 20 like I have, if you're wearing a lot of caftans or house style coats, If you're wearing things that are a little more flowy, a cuff bracelet is really a great piece to accent it, and this one is definitely a keeper. Kenneth J. Lane pieces also really retain their value. So this one is nice and signed. The little signature for Kenneth J. Lane is actually right in the little cartouche on the same side. I should also point out that this one is very comfortable. It has a hinged cuff to go on, and also the lucite is in perfect condition. So if you're looking to then pull up another awesome treasure, this one's also in a heavy 18 karat gold plating. This one you can also pick up on the website. And like I said, everything is 25% off right now, and there's no code needed. It shows it in the cart when you're at checkout. Alrighty, another very cool piece that I absolutely love is this vintage Panetta piece. It kind of looks like sponge coral. This one is another great mid-century modern design, and I know I showed you that really fun Richelieu piece that we had at the beginning of the evening. For those of you who, this one actually now has a hook on it. So this one's got that going for it. This one can easily be worn as a pendant, and that's one of the things that I really like about this one. So I'm going to just go ahead and slip that one on. This one can be worn as a brooch and as a pendant. So for those of you who like being able to wear pieces that are a statement necklace style. So again, if you have an Omega chain, this is another great one to be able to add to your collection because it's really easy to be able to be worn as a pendant. And it's another one that is a great piece, especially to fill in a V-neck. You can also easily be able to wear this one over. And again, it's a really great piece when you put it on and get to wear it as a pendant. I think a lot of people also kind of shy away from pieces because, again, they're kind of nervous about how to wear brooches, but this one is such a high quality. Now, for those of you who are new to Panetta or even remember and you have your memory jogged, Panetta's tagline was the look of real. So their pieces have really great attention to detail. They are very beautifully classed, and they were made the same way that fine jewelry was made. So it's another piece that's very luxurious, very easy to be able to wear, and also it's going to retain its value too. So like I said, trust me on this one. If you are looking for something awesome, Elaine said that the bracelet was outstanding. I don't disagree. The bracelet is outstanding. And now this Panetta piece is also outstanding and really easy to wear also. And like I said, if you have an Omega chain and you think to yourself like, oh, everybody's wearing dainty stuff again and everything. Not so true. So easy to be able to pop this one on a collar like that and wear it. Okay, up next, we have got a gorgeous hematite and moon glow piece. This one is another fabulous one. It features sort of a citrine rhinestone that's mixed in. I love this one because this one also has that very mysterious and, if I dare say, sexy hematite domed cabochons that have been mixed in with it. It also has got a lovely swag. It's kind of a mid-century modern detail that's going across it. And this one is a really fun one. Again, like I said, if you like wearing muted or smoky colors, this one is so easy to be able to wear with it. And that like hint of hematite, that like dark, kind of like mysterious rhinestone, the cabochon versus it being a faceted, is a really fabulous, fun piece and very unusual and very different. Again, I'm just wearing it with those little gold earrings that we have with the little dangling balls. So this one is another one that's really easy to mix with your other fine jewelry pieces. And this one, like I said, don't be intimidated because you say that it has fall colors. That deep smoky gray with the hematite colored rhinestones is perfect to wear year round. And it also looks really stunning against cream and white. So if you are a neutral girl and you love wearing a lot of creams and whites, this is also going to be one that's just fabulous and very easy to wear. And that kind of cat's eye moon glow glass has also got that really pearly, beautiful detail that goes with it. That is another fun and fabulous piece. Okay, another one that I absolutely love this week, and I can't believe we have this one. This one is the Marquise style set rhinestones, and it's got this kind of fun tie look to it, but at the same time, it also has this really great Y style design. So if you wear plunging necklines or you even like wearing V necklines, this one is hot. You don't have to wear it over that style too. You could certainly wear it over a higher neck blouse as well. And this one has got just these beautiful, isn't that gorgeous? It lays perfectly. And whatever color you put with it, if you're going to put more golds with it, you're going to get more of a yellow. This would be very lovely with, for example, a cashmere sweater in kind of a camel tone. And then if you put this one with greens, it's got the peridot color too with it. So it's going to go ahead and it's going to look really lovely with the peridot colors as well. It just lays so nice. So you'll have to imagine this one, if you put it on with a V-neck, it would be very sexy. It would be very easy to wear, feels really good against the skin, and it just has a beautiful design. I love the way that it's kind of asymmetrical and it kind of has a little bit of the cut going on the side. And then it's got the nice double strand and it lays beautifully against the neck. For those of you who know, and you've joined us before, you know I always talk about being a little bit bigger chested, and it can sometimes be hard to find necklaces that are very comfortable. This one very nicely lays at like an 18-inch, and it just lays beautifully against the neck. I would comfortably wear this all day long, and I'm sure that you could too. Really beautiful piece, really easy to wear, and very different than all of the other pieces that we have right now. So this one's another really great, fun, awesome piece that we have. All right, we are going to talk a little bit about a few more of the designer pieces that we have now before we head off. And I mean, I'm going to be back again tomorrow since the sale's still going strong. If you have any requests of any pieces that you want tried on, please don't hesitate to ask, because tomorrow I can try them on for you again. So, like I said, we are talking about how easy it is to be able to pick up some of our higher end designer pieces during our 25% off sale. And this vintage lucite Givenchy Couture certainly fits that bill. So this one has got this great modernist lucite that's mixed into it. And then it's got the gas pipe chain on the back. It's another one that is just a very classic, very elegant piece. But as you can see, you could totally dress this down and you could totally dress it up. And for those of you who are serious collectors, you'll know, or just I would say even have an appreciation for the level of skill that goes into the jewelry that you can only find in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s. Not only has this one got very great detailing to it and also has this very beautiful design, it also has got lucite, and lucite is always very hot with collectors. And it also is from Givenchy, so it's a designer that retains its value. But last but not least, if you've ever been familiar with the French designs and also the pieces from Ina Citrine, this looks like the Ina Citrine bracelets. And those go for a very significant amount of money. Lastly, if you are a fan of Alexis Bittar, he does a lot of lucite pieces too, and many people love him because he's a newer designer, but you can definitely see the way that his designs are affected by the beautiful designs that we had from previous designers. So I think a lot of his work actually is inspired by a lot of these lucite pieces and a lot of these 1980s styles designs from designers like Givenchy Couture. So another great find, 25% off right now. It's one of those ones that you'll have forever and that you'll very easily be able to take care of and get lots of wear over it from years to come. That's another thing I always tell people. It'll come out to being pennies per wear if you keep it. If it's in this good a condition and it's this kind of signed piece, it'll be very easy to be able to get your investment back in it and also get years of enjoying it and wearing it. Plus, who doesn't love stuff that's lucite because it's so easy to wear? Okay, we've got an awesome fan link bracelet. This was another one. If you saw me the other day, I had my vintage Cartier watch on. That one was actually one, that's another funny story. For those of you who love my little anecdotes, when my aunt was sick, she and my dad kind of had a rocky relationship and sometimes they didn't always get along. But my dad also definitely, he didn't understand fashion either. And when my aunt was really sick and she was passing away from cancer, she said, make sure when you clean out the house, you look for my Chanel jewelry and you look for my Cartier watch. And I was actually, because I worked in the estate industry, I was responsible for cleaning out the house and helping with things. And I said to my dad, I said, do you know where all this stuff that he's talking about? And he said, she's a loon. It was the pain medicines. Nothing like that exists. And sure enough, I was cleaning out like a coffee can in the back of and keep in mind, this is a 1920s Chicago bungalow in the summer heat with no air conditioning, all brick, and I'm roasting and I'm cleaning out this closet, and lo and behold, I find this Cartier watch that is still in the Cartier box. It's the same watch that Jacqueline Kennedy had. And then also I find all this vintage Chanel jewelry too, which quite a bit of it is still in my personal collection. But going along with that, for those of you, one of the questions that I asked on both Instagram and on Facebook this week was, I said, do you ever wear a bracelet with your watch? And I wore this one with my watch, and it's another one that's really easy to be able to do that. So that was the whole point of that story, was for those of you who love being able to wear bracelets with watches. This is a really fun one. This one is also another one that's got articulated links, and it's got a brushed gold tone in between the shiny tone links. And it also goes perfectly with your fine jewelry. So this one is another fun one, a great piece, very classic design, and actually no wear to the plating either. So it's like in new condition. Alrighty. We also have another awesome, I'm going to kind of sign off because we're already going on 45 minutes here, and I still want you to be able to shop tonight since the sale's just for 2 days. We have got this beautiful bejeweled Kenneth J. Lane bracelet. This is another one that's hinged. And this one features a brushed gold tone, and then it has got the amethyst, the sapphire blue, the garnet, and it's got like a deeper green. So it's the jewel tones, and it has a hammered gold finish. I love this one. Another fun piece that we have is this awesome jewel tone knot brooch from Vintage Swarovski. Another fabulous, awesome piece that features these really beautiful jewel tones, and you can see how great it goes with this bracelet. And if that wasn't enough, we also have got a gorgeous pair of vintage Swarovski earrings that match up with the same jewel tones that you're seeing in the brooch and in the bracelet right here. So this is another vintage Swarovski. This is a 1980s. This is a 1980s. This is another one that is really easy to be able to be worn. And this one picks up, again, really nicely with all kinds of different colors. So you can see it here, again, worn medallion style right in the center. It goes very lovely with the bracelet, but it's also very beautiful to be able to wear with the earrings. And if you didn't see, I modeled the earrings earlier this week because they have a deeper garnet color in them. And I showed how I wore them when my daughters went back to school this week. I wore them with a t-shirt from Target. So you can totally be able to pull this off. Beautiful little X-style design. The brooch, super pretty, very easy to be able to wear, and just gorgeous royal colors. And of course, it goes fantastic also with the Kenneth J. Lane bracelet. So lots of fun pieces there. Alrighty, we have got a lot of other pieces though. Oh, speaking of other jewel tones, we have got a beautiful jewel tone. This is the caged Swarovski necklace. This one's got this barrel clasp, and it's very secure. It's got a tube that it connects into. And I'm not going to have that. There we go. This is the caged Swarovski necklace, and this one features the same jewel tones that you actually saw in the vintage Swarovski brooch, and also with the vintage Swarovski earrings. And this one is cool because it's very different than the traditional faceted Swarovski pieces. Again, this one is another higher end couture style design. This one is also 25% off. It goes really lovely with the different earrings. And this one has got poured crystals on it. So it's sort of a faux grippot. Which is also, a technique that was basically created by Chanel in the 1920s, 1930s era. It was this whole big thing with grippot later. And so then they contracted, and Chanel had her grippot designs made through them. And if you look them up, they're still very fabulous and definitely well worth the investment. So this one is the caged. I know Michelle says she wishes she was a gold girl. I've never found this in a silver, or I've never found it in a rhodium plated one. It's just one of those things. And I think that you tend to find more of the Swarovski pieces, at least with the jewel tone ones, in the gold. But you do find all of the classic Swarovski pieces from time to time also in the heavy rhodium plating. Speaking of that, speaking of rhodium plating, we also have got another fabulous Nolan Miller piece. This features the same sort of amethyst style crystals that you actually see in both the poured ones. And this one does feature a rhodium plating with the flowers and then an 18 karat gold plating on the back. This one's another really nice piece. Again, I was talking a lot about this week about how that Nolan Miller is a fabulous designer. He did a lot of the jewelry work for the higher end television shows that we worked in the 80s and the 90s, like Dynasty and Falcon Crest. A lot of well-known women wore his pieces for design and award shows. So his pieces are definitely well worth the investment. And if you go and look on them on eBay, they are going for a pretty penny on there as well too. So again, this is another great one. It would be a fabulous one to pick up during the sale. It's also 25% off. Beautiful coloring and style. It's got great because it has just that little addition of the green enamel leaves and just a beautiful sparkle and lovely, lovely work with the way that each of the little blossoms are set. They also have got like the open back stones too. So you really, really get the sparkle when you put this one on. And you know what? I'm not using any fancy lights. It's actually quite dark tonight. So we have got the Swarovski necklace. We have another awesome Kenneth J. Lane piece. This one features the texturing on it. This one has definitely a very Cleopatra feel to it. This one is another fabulous and awesome one. And I'm noticing that I have a lot of gold this week. So I think that tomorrow I will be back on and I will focus more on the rhodium plated pieces. Tomorrow's time is to be determined. Everything is a little bit dependent on how things go with the kiddos and everything. And I do want to thank everybody for their patience. Getting back to e-learning and helping the children transition through this time and everything. And I know we've got a lot of teachers on here. I have a ton of respect for you. But many of you know I am very, very involved with my children. I do everything for all of you, for my family. That's just how I am with my personality. And this has been, like I said, it's been a very hard week to try to get everybody to transition back to school. Also, it's very hard to see your children disappointed that they can't go back to school. And so it's just been a lot of ups and downs. So I do appreciate everybody's patience. All right. I'm going to be back on tomorrow, and I am going to talk about the rhodium plating. I will set up a time where you can see where I'm going to go live and let you all know. But I do want you to be able to head on over to VMM and take advantage of the 25% off sale because it's here 1 minute and gone the next. And also, like I said, we only do it a couple of times a year. And also, be sure to post in the comments if you have a piece that you want to see on the Vintage Meet Modern website, if you have a question about how to wear it or you want to see it on so you can get an idea of the size and the scale, please don't hesitate to do that. Now, for those of you who are new, who are joining us, you're like, why are you shaking all of that? Okay, so remember, for those of you who post on the thread what your favorite piece is, we enter your name in a drawing for a $25 gift card to Vintage Meet Modern. And I just so happen to have quite a few names in here tonight. I was able to get my printer working this week. So, Mr. Michael, you want to come help pull a name for us? Here he comes, folks, the star of the show. He had a great day. He got to go to the zoo today. What's up?
Right, you were.
Okay, well, come on over here.
I barely talk.
Say hello to everybody tonight.
I barely talk on the show.
Okay, can you tell everybody to have a great Thursday? Okay, don't drop them. Just close your eyes and pick one. Okay, I'll hold it. You pick one. Close them. Here we go. Tonight's lucky winner is... Dun, 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 dun. Practicing our reading skills here.
And something. Right?
Ann McIntyre. Ann McIntyre, you are our winner of a $25 gift card to Vintage Meet Modern. I know you're going to use it and you're going to enjoy it. And just for those who you know, Ann is probably our longest follower and participator in Jewelry Party Wednesday, but it's a Thursday, for over 2.5 years. And she always watched, even when there was nobody watching. She would be the only one on. She would always watch every week. She always got to know Mr. Michael because he was a Cubs fan and he would come on with his Cubs hat, and she's a Cubs fan too. So I'm really thrilled, but that doesn't mean that we don't want all of you to be able to win too. So it's really easy. So simple. All you need to do is go to the Vintage Meet Modern website, post in the comments what your favorite piece is from any of our recent collections. And then next week, when we do this all again, you'll also be entered to win a $25 gift card to Vintage Meet Modern. However, let's finish off by reminding everyone that we have got tons of awesome pieces. We've got Chanel, we've got Dior, we've got McKellen and Barclay, we have got pearls, we have got bow brooches, we have got rhinestone statement earrings. We have everything that you need to help you look and feel your best every day. And the best part is the jewelry always fits. So take advantage of the sale. Like I said, everything at Vintage Meet Modern today and tomorrow is 25% off. We only do site-wide sales 3 times a year. So I hope that you can find the perfect piece for you. So thank you to everybody who tuned in. We have tons of people. We've got lots of friends over here on Instagram. We've got lots of friends over here on Facebook. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy evening to hang out with me. I hope that you found some jewelry pieces that you love and adore. And as always, I hope that you can take some time to celebrate your inner sparkle so you can truly let your personal style shine everywhere you go. So thank you for supporting small businesses and thank you for shopping vintage. And I'm really thrilled that all of you were here. So go forth and sparkle, head on over to Vintage Meet Modern. And if you have any questions on any pieces, don't hesitate to let us know. So good night, lovelies. I will see you all again real soon.